Hi! In my last video, I did a perfect travel combo video with my Evelyne from Hermes bag inside my GM monogram Louis Vuitton Neverfull. So as I did that at the end, I said if you'd like to see all the stuff that I always take with me on the plane, including those two items, let me know. And an overwhelming amount of you said yes, you'd like to know. So anyway, here we go. You might hear some banging in the background. There is, that didn't sound good. There is, not rehabilitation, what's it called? Renovation happening in my house. And yeah, it's loud. So anyway, we'll try to ignore that and just get on with it. Generally speaking, this is what I've been carrying with me, either this or my Keepall 45 in the Macassar print. Love that bag also, fits the same amount of things under the seat in front of me. First of all, let me tell you that we do carry on everything only. We don't check a bag. We've gone to Europe, we've gone all over the place with just that one tiny suitcase and whatever I can fit in the bag that I put under the seat. So, I have been learning how to be extremely efficient on what to pack, what mixes and matches, what I can wash in the hotel room and dry overnight, all that kind of thing when it comes to packing clothing. For this, I have it down to a science also, and many of these things change depending on the amount of days I'm away or where I'm going and so forth. So let me just try to share and then know that I just kind of change things depending on how many days I'm away, etc. But basically speaking, this and my roller bag are what goes with me onto the plane. The roller bag then goes up in the overhead compartment and this goes under the seat in front of me. So that's how that works. It sets right on top of the roller bag. I put these handles just over the pull-up handle of the suitcase roller bag and it works perfectly. It's completely secure and it works great. So this is how it is packed almost always. I put everything I normally would put in my bag. I even added a few things that I don't always keep in there, and I will tell you all about that too so that you know that it does fit if you would choose to do so. So I have it clipped shut, which I don't always have to do, but I do have it clipped shut there. And I wanted to share with you that if you don't really necessarily want to clip it shut, you can also bring an extra bolster, kind of a pillow or a jacket or something and wad it up on top too. And that works perfectly well also. But I don't always do that, but I know I can if I want to. Now this is another thing people said they're worried about putting the bag down on its side to have it go through the security thing. What I always do, always, is I always carry a scarf with me, and 9 times out of 10 it's this specific one. And when I do that, I have all of my things in here. I mean, it's pretty full. I have all of my things, and I always have the scarf, so I just kind of open it up a little bit. Just kind of tuck it in and around, and I clip my bag, and that works perfectly. I've never, ever had anything fall out of it. You just put it in there, it doesn't move, it just goes down the conveyor belt, nothing's rattling around, nothing's shifting, and it comes out looking exactly like this. Not once have I ever had an issue, and I've been doing this with my other Neverfull, my MM, and I've been doing with this one, with this one all over the world many, many times. And you're right there with it. It's not a big deal. It's no problem. But this really does keep things from falling out. As you can see, I'm jostling it, and nothing is going anywhere. Okay, it works. So that's one way to be more, you know, less worried, I guess is what I'm trying to say, about things falling out when it goes through the conveyor belt. So once it's gone through the belt, you're good to go. So let me just show you how I pack it, what I put in mine, and so forth. All right, scarf. We've determined that. I always bring a scarf. Works perfectly on a plane as my blanket. They never wash those blankets on a plane. It's disgusting. So I don't really use those, you know, unless I'm freezing to death and I have no other choice. But this just, you can snuggle up with, you can use it over your eyes, you can put it against the window as a pillow, you can do whatever you want with it. Put it on as a blanket, wear it as a scarf. It's just snuggly and it just sort of feels and smells like home. So I always have a scarf with me, and then I can always use that too during the trip, you know, wherever I am. Of course, you cannot go through security with water. So after we've gone through security, I will buy a bottle of water. And generally, I'll buy a fairly large one, if I can, around this size, because then I also like to have that bottle for in the room. I maybe drink this much of it on the plane, and then I have it in the room with me wherever I am. So I almost always have that. So that's in here. Okay. This little pouch, and you can get any pouch like this. I could not find this one. I've had it for years. It's just a canvas pouch with a little zippy thing, and I keep all of my electronics in here. This is where I will put my camera, which I'm using right now, so it will just be thrown in here. I have my camera battery and battery charger. I have my electronics charger. I love this one. It charges everything very quickly. It's very lightweight. It's fairly small. It just uses a USB to recharge this. And what I love about it the most, it has a little attached kind of a wire thing to just stick into my phone, like a lightning USB. And it also has the one for, I think it's like Samsung. I like this one very much. Easy to come with me. That always goes in there. I have an extra one of these to, you know, be able to just plug it in with the USB. And a little thing of cords. And I love this little twisty tie thing that I just kind of twist them together. Extra cords for charging my items when I'm in the hotel room or wherever. And that's all in this little bag. I like to take my medications with me. I mean, I know that my other bag is up there and so forth, but I still like to have my medications closer to me, under the seat, in front of me, if I need them, like an overnight flight or whatever. And I found this cute little container that just seems more secure than those other type that just sort of pop up. They can pop open easily. I've had that happen before. But I have this little container. It's so cute. It has this little, it pops out. It's the whole week, you know, with a little. But yeah, always carry my medications on me. This is my toiletry bag of the items that you need to take through TSA. It has to be less than 3 ounces, all that kind of thing, and it has to fit in one container. This container is TSA approved. It's TSA carry-on approved. I love it. It fits more than what you can get in a quart size, like Ziploc bag. And I will show you everything that's in this too when I get to that point. I usually do not carry it with me. Many people like to have their things with them on the plane, especially if it's a long trip, to moisturize or take their makeup off or whatever it is they might want these, you know, items for. I generally do not. It usually stays in my suitcase, and we are TSA approved, so we don't have to go through that. I don't have to take it out each time. So that's the way I do it, but it does, as you can see, fit perfectly in here with all the other things. So I just wanted to show you that, and I will go through this, but first let's finish this. I bring my Kindle with me, and I bring my iPad. I know that I have the app Kindle for iPad on here, so I don't need to have my Kindle too, but I many times am liking to sit outside in the sun and read, and this Kindle is just perfect for that. It's like a book. You don't have the glare like you do with this. I know that's a little dumb thing. I don't have to have this too, but it's so tiny and it doesn't take up hardly any space. So I usually take both. This I use as my laptop. Basically, I check emails, answer comments, and all that kind of thing with it. So that's why I like to have both. And then this may be kind of old school because I know a lot of this is on my phone, but I love to have a trip file. So we always have a trip file, and any confirmation numbers, any, you know, when we book the hotel, when we book a rental car, any ferry tickets, whatever, we always print out the confirmations for them all and stick them in the trip file. So we have this with us. I know this is not necessarily necessary, but we have found many times where we show the printed thing and magic happens. So we always do this. It doesn't take, you know, hardly any space at all, and it's very lightweight, so I always kind of just shove that in there. And we have a trip we're currently planning, which is why this is kind of full. This is our upcoming trip file. I love this. Say yes to new adventures. Okay, so now we are left with my Evelyne bag, or whatever handbag of choice. And this is my neck wrap. I don't always do this for a plane, but boy, this is the best, in my opinion, neck wrap I've ever used or attempted to use. I will link where I found it below and so forth, but basically it takes up very little space. It's all machine washable. It's got this kind of a hard piece in here with a bend to it, okay? So if you can imagine that that's what's going on. You got this piece. So it's kind of a harder type of a piece of plastic in there, but this part's cushy, all right? You put it where you think you want it, and you wrap this very soft, cuddly microfiber fleecy thing around and secure it, okay? Now you kind of just sort of look like, if no one's paying attention, you sort of look like you're just wearing a scarf, right? You don't have that big bulbous thing in the back. You don't have to worry about your chin slapped, going forward. It just feels like a hug. It is so soft. It's not too hot. You don't have that ginormous thing around your neck. I don't know. This thing is absolute perfection, and it's got like over 3,000, really high marks on the website. So I believe in it, and many other people do. So it's so easy to pack. Look how tiny that is. Shoves in there perfectly. So always bring this if I think that I need to be sleeping on the plane or need to have a better chance to sleep on the plane. I'll do that. One thing I did forget to mention that I always take with me on trips: gluten-free granola bars, because as a gluten-free person, I never know where I'll find my next meal. Do you hear that? That's what I'm living with now. So gluten-free granola bars work with me, or come with me on every single trip too. And they just fit nicely in there. Sometimes I'll put some almonds or something in there also. But yeah, I always have food if I need it. So then what we're left with is my handbag. And my handbag of choice in this case is this, my Hermes Evelyne 29. And in there I have everything that I could possibly need while I am at my destination. In this case, it's still cold out, so I have gloves. I have my sunglasses in a case. I have a full-size wallet. I don't always need this. This is like my car keys, so generally I won't take this, or I will change out my full-size wallet to this, and it works perfectly. And I have my Toiletry 19 in there. It has all of my, junk drawer type items. My face powder, a lip pencil, a pen, any allergy medicines, a little rollerball perfume, which, by the way, if I'm traveling, I do stick that in my TSA approved thing. Some dental floss, the drill, some hand lotion, some mints, that kind of thing are always in my Toiletry 19 as my, what I call junk drawer. And that's it. That's everything that's in my bag. And that's everything I could possibly need while I'm out and about. And so when I am traveling and I'm at my destination and I have my bag out, let's just say I'm using my full-size wallet for the trip and my sunglasses and my toiletry. That still leaves plenty of room for my scarf, a smaller water bottle on the side here, whatever, and I still have room. So this bag just works so perfectly for all of those needs. Love it. So it's perfect for travel. Now, on the way there, on my way to my destination, I can easily just cinch these sides in. So it just makes it a little bit smaller of a bag as I'm traveling through the airport. Not that it really matters, but it's cute and everything fits perfectly, and that's everything I need. Then the beauty of that is when I come back and I have a few more purchases, I have all that extra space in which I can put those purchases. So it works great because my other carry-on bag with all my clothing and all that stuff is completely packed to bursting generally. So I like having that extra space. So many times that's how I work it. Okay, quickly, like I mentioned, let's go through this and I'll show you basically what I always carry with me in my TSA approved bag. I will link down below where I found this. I love them. I've given them as gifts. People love them. And I've used this all over the place for many. I didn't know how well it would last. They last. I've had no problem. The zipper is perfect, whatever. Okay, first of all, I'm a loofah kind of a girl. I don't like washing with like a washcloth in the shower. I always like to use a shower type of gel in a loofah. So these are like 99 cents at Target. I always buy a new one for each trip, and then I can either just leave it there if I want to, or I can bring it back because they're just, you don't want to use them too often anyway. So I always have that with me, and I know I don't need to carry it in this because it's not liquid. It's not a problem, but it just always seems to end up there because it fits so perfectly on top, and it's with all the things I would need. So there's that. And this is another item that I don't need to have because of TSA, but I just always put them in here. I just put one of these individually wrapped Neutrogena makeup remover cleansing towelettes. They're singles. Tiny little things for as many days as I will be wherever I am. And I just put little bunches of them, and however many days I stuff those in there. This is also not necessary for TSA, but they are, I put 2 nail polish remover pads. Okay, so I bring an extra polish of whatever color is on my nails, usually either my toenails or my fingernails, just so I can touch up. If I have a problem, I can use the wipe and I can redo. I always tend to do that if I'm on a trip. So I know I can just sort of take care of business and it's all good if something chips or whatever. I also take my IT Cosmetics CC cream, my basically favorite for any trip because it's got SPF 50 in it and it is considered a liquid, so that goes in here for sure. It fits perfectly. I take my concealer with me also, whichever one I'm using at the time. This happens to be the By Terry one. I have that with me at all times in here because it is also considered a liquid. I have an all-nighter makeup setting spray. This is a perfect size for this. It's thin. It's not too tall, and it is only 1 fluid ounce, so it works perfectly right in there, and it lasts a very long time. So I always have one of these. My little toothpaste. A small perfume of some sort. This happens to be a Jo Malone Honeysuckle and Divana. Always fits in there. Whichever one I have that's under 3 ounces, I will put in there. A deodorant. This is one of the little Dove dry sprays, Go Fresh. It's one of those little itty bitty ones. They last longer than you'd think, so this is a perfect size that goes in there. My favorite razor in the world is a Harry's razor. Love this brand. Love them very, very much. Highly recommend them. I put that in there in case, you know, it's a blade. I don't know what you're gonna do. Shave your pilot? I don't know. But, you know, they might worry about it, so I put it in there. An Ultra Repair Cream by First Aid Beauty. I love this stuff, and this is 2 ounces, and it fits in there beautifully. Ooh, always take that with me. For my face, I like to get these small travel size containers of the Glow Recipe watermelon juice. I love this stuff. I absolutely love this stuff. It can be used as your under eye cream all over. It's just heaven, and it smells so good and it feels so good. Love it. I have a tiny one of my little brush baths to clean my brushes on the go, which I just love. I have a little mini bottle of Triple Sec, so I can use this as sort of as a dry shampoo, but mostly as a texturizing spray. Love this stuff. I have saline solution for my contacts. And I have a bottle of Tresemme. It's the number 4 travel size of hairspray. And all of that fits in here beautifully, and any other items you think that you might want maybe instead of these would fit in here very nice too. I cannot tell you how much better this is than an actual quart size bag. Not only does it last and last and last, and the zipper works beautifully well, it is TSA approved, and it works fantastically. Love it. You get more, you can truly get more items in here than you can in a quart size bag too, and they approved it, so it works great. I love it. Quickly, another thing that I do too is when I purchase something from Ulta, Sephora, wherever, Nordstrom, you can get the samples. You know, it's like choose 3 samples or whatever. I do that, and many times I will throw the samples then in like one of these kind of a bag things. And I go through them before each trip and say, oh, I can try that eye cream, or oh, here's a, you know, a cleanser I haven't tried, or here's a Renewed Hope in a jar. You know, there's some different, here is an Hourglass Veil, you know, primer. So it gives me a chance to just throw these type things, these masks, whatever I have in here, and then I bring them with me on the trip, and then of course the little package gets thrown away as it's used, and so you're not having to take it back with you. So I always do that too. So keep your samples for those type of things also. So this is how I pack my bag for almost every trip. No matter which bag I'm using, these are the things I always have with me. It still leaves room for extra things that you might like. There's room for a magazine, a newspaper, many other things you could switch, change, and whatever. Thank you so much for joining me. Any questions, let me know, and I will see you guys again real soon. Thanks. Bye.